Welcome everyone. In the next few minutes, I'm happy to give you a high-level overview of where we are in Switzerland with FHIR and what learning and success we have achieved so far. My name is Michaela Ziegler and I am an eHealth solution consultant at Addis. One of our core activities is FHIR consulting, and we are heavily involved in national as well as international HL7 and IHE activities. It is from this perspective that I will present Switzerland's FHIR activities today. I will introduce some exchange formats as well as FHIR-based mobile profiles and highlight what we have learned while working around the FHIR implementation guides. The website FHIR.ch is the FHIR implementation guide registry of Switzerland, maintained by HL7 Switzerland. All known IHs are listed here, regardless of which organization is responsible for them. Many of these implementation guides are the products of a joint effort with participants from the FHIR implementer community, HL7 Switzerland and eHealth Suisse. eHealth Suisse is the competence and coordination center of the Confederation and the cantons and ensures that the digitalization projects in the Swiss healthcare system are in line with their goals and the law. Here are some IHs listed on FHIR.ch that I would like to introduce to you now. Let's start with the base. In CH Core, we find the Swiss core profiles that contain the different country specialities. For example, it is defined how the different identifiers are mapped or which value sets are to be applied. CH Core is the base of the profiles for the context of the Swiss electronic patient record and the exchange formats. The EPR profiles are also integrated in the IHE Core. Here are a few of their specifics. The EPR profiles are based on the Swiss electronic patient record law, specifying the technical and semantic requirements for interoperability. The metadata that must be used in the EPR context are mapped in the IHE EPR term, which forms the basis for CH Core. The exchange formats for the Swiss EPR are defined in various IHs as FHIR or in some cases CDA documents. The corresponding IHs are topic-focused, such as e-medication, and their profiles derive from the EPR profiles. The document reference EPR profile defines how metadata used in the EPR is to be mapped to XTS metadata. In the draft implementation guide, CH EPR mHealth is a national extension of the mobile profiles in the context of the EPR defined. The FHIR implementation guides shown here are 3 examples of Swiss exchange formats. Documents were defined to exchange information on medication, vaccination and immunization, or allergies and intolerances. The medication documents are based on the IHE Pharmacy Technical Framework. EPAC, a national interprofessional working group, has defined what data needs to be exchanged for e-medication. Their minimal data set is used as a starting point for the exchange format. These elements have been used as a first step. The documents for vaccination and immunization are based on the IHE technical framework, patient care coordination with the profile immunization content. The circumstance to be able to exchange the information across borders had its influence on the specification. The International Patient Summary Implementation Guide gave some support. For the allergies and intolerances format, an EPAC report was also defined and used as a basis. Likewise, certain elements are based on the IP's FHIR IG, The IG is further influenced by the implementation guide for use of SNOMED CT in documentation of allergy, non-allergic hypersensitivity, and intolerance. In addition to FHIR documents, the medication exchange format also defines corresponding CDA documents. Therefore, we have created the CDA FHIR maps for the transformation between the two formats. A bit more about this just now. Here is a schematic overview showing the 6 defined medication documents, either in FHIR or CDA, and how they relate to the corresponding IHE form profiles. As an example of the mapping, let's look at the medication card document, which describes the current medication of a patient. The basic structure of the FHIR and the CDA document are shown here in a simplified way. The FHIR document is a bundle of the type document with a composition as the first entry. The other resources are referenced accordingly. The CDA document consists of header and body. With the use of the so-called FHIR mapping language, maps were defined that allow the transformation from CDA to FHIR and back. If you want to learn more about the mapping, you should definitely attend the Let's Build session by Oliver Ecker about this topic later this week. Another topic that has kept us busy over the last 2 years is the order and referral by form. The FHIR implementation guide defines a form in which the basic data for e-referrals or requests for information are represented. The form and the correspondingly completed data are represented by questionnaire and questionnaire response. In order to be able to exchange the data in a structured way, an EPR compliant document has also been defined, which is based on CH core. Likewise, where possible and necessary, CHRF is based on the FHIR IG structured data capture, where a lot of valuable work has been done. As a further step, context-specific formats were defined for the laboratory and radiology order and e-transition of care. Due to the modular structure, the basic elements could be reused and only the context-specific elements had to be defined. Here is a simplified and schematic illustration of how we realized order and referral by form. There is this modular questionnaire with the additional context-specific modules. The form is defined as FHIR questionnaire. With a rendering tool, in our case the open source tool Matchbox, the form is displayed to the user. The collected data is stored as questionnaire response. With a defined structure map, the data can be transformed into a bundle with the corresponding resources. The orders are thus exchanged as an EPR compliant document with structured data. In addition to these IGs on exchange formats, we have IGs that support mobile access to the Swiss EPR. With the national extension CH EPR mHealth, we want to ease the integration of mobile applications to the Swiss EPR by extending the IHE FHIR-based mobile profiles. The scope of this extension covers the following use cases: client authentication and authorization, user authentication, read and write documents from and to the EPR, and write logs to the audit record repository. Another national integration profile for mobile applications is the profile Privacy Policy Query for Mobile. The PPQM profile is to provide the possibility to manage privacy policies using a lightweight technology stack suitable for mobile devices. The actors and transactions shown here are described in detail in the corresponding IG. The requests and responses are realized as FHIR bundles, and the EPR privacy policies themselves are represented as consent resources. That was a brief insight into a few of the Swiss implementation guides. What I would like to bring up now are some learnings that we have made during the last years. You should start simple, preferably with a use case that is as close to reality as possible. If necessary, the definition of a minimal data set can help. Don't try to map every possible and impossible detail in the first iteration, because the simpler it is, the greater the acceptance of those who implement it. The next point we also had to learn. As an example, we thought we can always expect a certain identifier for the practitioner, because that's what every practitioner has. Otherwise, they're not allowed to treat. That's true, but we didn't realize that the data might not be available to every system at all times. So in order not to limit the reusability, we should define well, but not limit too strictly. Something we have made very good experience with is the integration of user-friendly elements in the implementation guides. We include all the profiles and terminologies, as well as use cases, and we create examples corresponding to them. The IG can be customized, and links, illustrations, etc. can be added as desired. In this way, we also open up access for people who are less tech-savvy. And feedback on all the work is usually only to be expected when the real implementation and testing starts. Nevertheless, people should be involved already in an early iteration, which brings us to the success part. We have been doing an annual EPR Projectathon for a few years now, and in the meantime, the FHIR exchange formats have also been tested there. This leads to feedback and improvement of the implementations. Parallel to these test events, we conduct ballots on the individual FHIR implementation guides. In this way, we were able to improve the maturity of our specifications. In addition to this, the acceptance of FHIR has also increased, and lately there is a demand for FHIR from different sides, because certain elements, such as patient information, can be reused, and there is no need to implement further proprietary formats. So I hope your and our FHIR success story continues, and we can make a contribution to a better healthcare system. If you have any questions, you can contact me through the following channels, and I am happy to answer questions in the Q&A part now. Thank you so much for your interest.
All right. Thank you so much to everyone, to Michaela and to all the attendees for putting up with our technical difficulties this morning. We made it through. Unfortunately, we do not have time for live Q&A because the next sessions are starting in 2 minutes. However, as Michaela said, you may reach her directly from her email, or you can ping her on Whova, and the Q&A section of this presentation. You are welcome to post questions if you have any later, and it will be monitored. So thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you all.